it is Sarah. You know, normally on my channel I do like travel guides or NYC guides, but I recently had a quite terrible experience traveling here to South Africa. And so I want to share with you so that no one else gets refused from boarding a plane. Every January through February or March, I leave New York because it's just like so freezing and I can't deal with it. You know, I love New York, but the one thing I don't love is that weather. In the winter, it is brutal. Louis and I decided, let's go to a warm place. So this year we've chosen South Africa and Morocco, and we'll be back in New York in March. And so we go to the airport and I have my lovely passport ready to go, and I present it to the agent and she's looking and she says, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but unfortunately you can't get on the flight today." And I was like, what do you mean? She said, "I'm really sorry that I have to tell you this, but you don't have enough pages in your passport. You need at least 2 empty pages in your passport to board a flight." And I'm aware of this. I mean, I have like so many stamped pages. And so I knew that this day was coming, and I kind of was like, yes, I've filled a whole passport. This is such an accomplishment. But it wasn't supposed to come the day I'm boarding the flight to South Africa. And there were 3 empty pages in the back. These are all empty pages. And so I said to her, no, I have 3 empty pages in the back. You can see them right here, like 1, 2, 3. That's more than 2, so I'm good. And she said, "No, ma'am, these are endorsement pages. We can't stamp these." And so I'm like, what? So she said, "I don't know, I'm just not allowed to stamp it." And so I said, "Well, I have a space right here. Can't you stamp this space? This is available." Because apparently this page can't be stamped since it says endorsement, and either can these because they say endorsement, which I'm like, okay, that's very small writing, and nowhere on there does it say cannot be used for passport stamps. Well, I looked it up, why, and so the endorsement pages are only used for the US State Department to make amendments to your passports, so they're not allowed to stamp those pages. So although it does look like they are empty, you cannot stamp endorsement pages, apparently. I consider myself, you know, a professional traveler at this point. I'm traveling all the time, and I have never heard of this rule. If you couldn't stamp it, then why don't they make it more clear on there, anywhere on there that says cannot be used? In my opinion, I think it's very poorly communicated by the US State Department that you cannot use those pages. Yeah, Pass Sarah, that is a very good point, especially since when you arrived in Morocco, they stamped the endorsement page on your passport. So essentially this whole thing is absolutely ridiculous and really has no meaning. But let's continue the story on how did I get on that plane. So what I have to do is I have to change my ticket and I have to get a whole new passport issued. Thank goodness we were going here for a month, because if this was like a week-long vacation, half of my week would be gone. So I went to change my flight with South African Airways, and since I had booked the flight through my Chase Sapphire Reserve card, and so I knew that there would be a fee associated with this, so I was already like, in addition to having to pay the cost of getting a whole new passport the day of. And so I called Chase Sapphire Reserve and I tell them the situation, and they say, okay, sure thing. It's a $300 flight change fee, and you also have to pay a $450 no-show fee. And I was like, excuse me, what? I'm not a no-show, I'm here at the airport, so you can go ahead and remove that. 3 hours later of like fighting on the phone, and they finally removed this no-show fee. And I normally love Chase Sapphire Reserve, but that was very infuriating. So I only had to pay the $300 cancellation fee, so I was like, small victories, yes, you know, like that is still a fee, but at least it's not $750. The US passport office in New York City opens at 7:30 for walk-ins. I tried to get a reservation, and the next reservation was available 2 weeks from the date that I was trying to travel, so that wasn't an option. And so I get there at 6:30, they open at 7:30. So I just got to the passport office and it is 6:37 and there are 11 people in line outside already. It's an hour before they open. So I'm like, thank goodness that I came here early because I need this passport tomorrow. I need the passport. Wait an hour in the freezing cold, possibly got like hypothermia, not sure about it. And by this point at 7:30, the US passport office has a line of about 100 people. This US passport office is the only office that can issue you a same-day passport. I believe there's one per state, or like larger states have a few. Like for New York, we have one in New York City and one in Buffalo, which are about 8 hours driving distance. So thank goodness that I'm in New York City and I could go there the same day. So that was like a blessing in disguise. So get to the US passport office, have all my paperwork ready, essentially what you need for this, your original passport, be ready to pay $170, the passport application fee, and then proof that you have to fly within 24 hours, and you need a new passport photo. So I hand that to the woman at the desk. So I just left the passport office. It is 7:55. So I literally got in and got out in 25 minutes and they say my passport will be ready by noon, so I just have to come back and pick it up then. And so I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm actually gonna be able to fly. They can actually do this. So I finally get my passport. This time I got the 52-page passport because I'm not dealing with this again. So for those people that travel a lot, you can actually get a thicker passport. The regular passport is 32 pages. My new one is 52 pages because I am prepared to never have to deal with this again. And I was able to get on my flight and the story ends happily. But I want to make this issue aware to people because I've never heard of this before. If you've heard of this, please comment below. I'm curious to know how many people actually have heard of this issue. In the end, it cost me about $600. Fair warning to you. Thanks for listening to my rant and happy travels, you guys. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time, hopefully on a happier note. Thanks for watching. Bye.